you'll be able to find something pretty cheap, like 2, 3 grand. I guarantee it. If you're pretty open-minded, 2, 3 grand, you'll get something that runs fine. Thunderbirds are really, really reasonable. They're really, really reliable in my experience, and from what I've seen, they seem to be pretty like solid. If you can get a Thunderbird or something like that, stay away from Pontiac. Pontiac is like, but stuff old Ford stuff, 90s Ford stuff. A Civic, uh, Toyota Celica. This is another good one, but these are kind of expensive now. People are kind of you can get them cheap, but they're also kind of expensive. But they look too nice, so you know, a 2000. Yeah, something like this, a 99 Toyota Celica. That's a Toyota Camry engine and a Toyota Camry reliability, but it's usually taken care of a little nicer, and you can get them pretty cheap if you can find them because it's a Camry base. Toyotas are good. Yeah, 2 to 4K. What's up, baby nugget? Dude, we are third chat. We are not even on the screen. Get a stay-up in cabin. Yep, and when those inevitably become homeless, you can live in it. Yeah. But it's not about looks. I'm just saying like stuff that's like older, like stuff like this, it's as reliable as a Camry. But it's basically people will take nicer care of it because it's a little different. It's a little different, so people like who got it are a little different than just the Camry. A Camry could be trash, but it not be trash. Dude, sucks to be your third chat. I don't know what that means, dude. Bull moose entrapment. What do you mean by that? I drove a busted up Renault, Frankenstein's car. Yeah, you can get a lot of stuff. Yeah, like, something like that, or a sedan. You know, a Mark 8 or Mark yeah, Mark 8. There's some reliable cars. People take care of them. A Riviera are good too. Rivieras. These are beaters, but there's some good ones. Um, am I thinking of the wrong? Yeah, Riviera 1990. Yeah, these are kind of cool. I want to get one of these. If I'm gonna get a sedan, are there sedan versions of these? They're kind of like pills. They look kind of like pills. But there's some Rivieras and they look cool and they drive well and they're weird looking. They're kind of like shaped like a pillbox or a pill bug, but they're sometimes they're souped out and they're taken well care of. Stay away from Lincolns. Black people drive those. Yeah, and a lot of these they're hard to find, but if you go on Facebook Marketplace, what you should do is you should look at Facebook Marketplace with your price range, what you want, the year range. Go for like mid 90s to early 2000s. Price range within your location you're willing to get. You know, the type like sedan or coupe or SUV or whatever. Find something that looks good, then look up that car model. So find something that, oh, this looks like, you know, 2,500, it has 100,000 miles on it. You know, it looks like it's not rusted, it looks like it's decently taken care of, there's a few dents or whatever. And then Google that model and say, you know, reliability Reddit or something like that, or YouTube reliability. And people will tell you, oh, is this model, you know, based on what's available, you'll be able to see what's a good deal or not. Yeah, the 95 through 97 Riviera, those are really good engines. Another one is the Mercury Cougar. That's very reliable. The Cougar from 95. I think is it 95? The RX-7 or the mid 90s. And you have to look once you find one that's. You can get some of these that are cheap too. It's essentially the Thunderbird in terms of reliability in the platform. It's just built a little different, so it's very reliable. It's not even a beater. It's just nice. It has a weird look, so people might sell it cheap too, because it kind of has a weird, odd look here. I kind of like the way it looks, but a lot of people will find it odd, so they'll like picture. But if you need it to for carrying gear, you might not have enough room. Trucks, you're gonna have a problem. Like if you're trying to get a truck from the early 2000s, you're not really gonna get a good deal because people buy cheap like Tacomas and that sort of stuff pretty expensive now still. kind of like a collector's item. Um, the Cougars are basically Mustangs. Yeah, they're kind of similar to. They have the same engine as the Thunderbird, same interior. Like, look at the interior of a Mercury Cougar 1995 interior. All right, so this is the interior. I'll do this here. Dude, this is so funny. So this is the Mercury interior, right? Now we'll go to 1995 Thunderbird interior. Well, let's get a non-auto here. Notice anything funny? Anything similar? Notice any like similarities here? It's the same car, it's just the body the outside body's a little different. And you're probably gonna find a better deal with there's some decent Thunderbirds, but you know but the engine in itself is like the pretty reliable. It's just wild to me. Steve Branson's farm truck beaters spotless 60,000 2014. It's so funny, dude. But these engines are really reliable. They're really good if you get an engine that works. 80 to 160k miles is probably a good range as long as there's nothing going on. With Thunderbird and with certain car models, you can look for car models where there's a community around them. And if there's a community around them, you're gonna find that people really like them, and some people take really good care of them. And they're not gonna charge you an arm and a leg, although. So what's even the difference here? I guess the Thunderbird has a temperature gauge here. This doesn't have a gauge. I guess is that like the only difference? It's pretty much the exact same thing. This might be a different model though. But yeah, just generally look for stuff in like the late 90s, mid 90s, early 2000s. With 80 to 150k miles. 150k is pushing it, but it's good still. You can get stuff that goes and totally fine for the next 5 years. But when you get up higher than that, then you gotta worry about stuff. And then look for white people or single moms. There are also single moms because they'll get cars. That's where I got my Navajo from a single mom who had a black boyfriend, and the radio didn't work. The door handles were broken off because it's an Explorer, so the doors. So I replaced that, but I got it really cheap because they're retarded. They make bad life decisions. They throw away stuff that's valuable, whether it's themselves or their cars. They'll undersell themselves. That's a good thing. So if you can find a white woman with a black boyfriend, she's probably selling it for crack or something, and you can get a good deal because she's selling herself for crack. Now the older Ford cars, you're gonna have a problem with windows. They might not roll down properly. You might need to get the AC refresh, which is totally fine. I've never seen people say, "Oh, sometimes it always leaks," but from what I've seen and from my experience, and I've only had done this twice, but refreshing a car's AC is like it works. Like, and there is a slight leak, but I don't think that I'd be shocked. Make sure the AC blows, even though it's not warm or like it doesn't work in terms of temperature. As long as it blows, you're probably gonna be able to just refresh the AC, and it'll be totally fine for how long you need it. Really, if you want reliability, just get reliability, and don't worry about looks. But Ford stuff is like mid 90s Ford stuff is like very reliable. Just find a sedan, find something that looks like it's been taken care of. It doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be not like rusted out at the bottom, on the sides, the bearings, that sort of stuff. And then also older people, they can be a good deal, but they can also be obnoxious because they're boomers. And boomers are retarded and they don't know how the world works. So if you get a hint of like uppity attitude from somebody who's selling something, don't even interact with them because it's not worth it. Because they're retarded and they're gonna say, "Oh, this is worth $17,000." It's like this is worth like $2,000. This is being generous. But yeah, you'll find something easily for 2 to 4K, and you can also get like a sedan. A sedan. This is a coupe, so you can get a sedan very easily for that price too. Like I would say for a sedan, I would do for a Civic. Yeah, I'll get a 1999 Civic. Yeah, something boring like this. It's kind of Kino, honestly. It kind of looks Kino compared to cars now. Or a Accord, an Accord. Or you could look up most reliable 1990s. Most reliable late 90s sedans. Yeah, Toyota 4Runner. But then you got to deal with if stuff breaks, that sort of stuff. A Grand Cherokee. Are these reliable, actually? Yeah, Camry. Don't get a Mustang. Mustangs are for retards. BMWs. You get a Ferrari, maybe. Get a Ferrari. Or a Honda Civic. Yeah, Honda Civics are kind of comfy. Once again, I think honestly, like high status thing at this point is getting something that's kind of like a crap box. And get a Jaguar. And then just having it, taking nice care of it because it's cheap, it works, and it's comfy. A lot of these cars are actually really comfy. Get a Porsche, a Saab. Bro, I want a Saab. Don't get a Saab though. Saabs will not be reliable. I get a Lotus V8. Get this one here. I was thinking about this. Get a 4Runner and a Ferrari. Yeah, that's right. The Oldsmobiles, they have some good ones. Oldsmobiles, they have some cool. Bonneville, Oldsmobile Bonneville. Uh, that's good. Dude, these are like not like economy cars. Get a Bugatti, an Audi, an Audi. Dude, I want this. Bro, how much does this cost? Yeah, 50,000 bucks. Nice. A Buick Regal, these are nice too. Yeah, there's some nice Buicks. Dude, these are not like cheap. I'm looking for cheap cars here. The problem with these old cars is you may not be able to plug your phone in to listen to Scott Adams podcast. No, you can replace the stereo. I replaced the stereo in mine, and I've been listening to Scott Adams everywhere I go. Dude, why aren't these loading here? You get a cop car. 5 cars in the 1990s. I'm not looking for why are they like everything? Just give me like best cheap cars, dude. Well, let's look it up. Cheap used cars that last 1 million miles. Let's see, 2 years ago. All right, this is for you. This is for you. All right, are you even watching Ricky Tikki Tempo? I just use a Bluetooth radio transmitter. Yeah, yeah. Just get a stolen vehicle, dude. Honestly, just go to a Walmart parking lot. Pretend you're homeless, like dress up like a homeless person. Have like a shopping cart. You like lay down, sit down. Wait for an older '90s like Ford to come in. You know, unlock the door or smash the window, then jam a flathead like this one into the steering column and get a free car, dude.
1 million miles. That's over 40 times around the circumference of the Earth. Chances are most cars aren't built to survive that long, but these cars, they are. And in this video, I'm gonna show you the most reliable cheap cars out there. And there's even one on this list that's clocked over 3 million miles. 15 libraries at surfshark.deals. So, reliability, and luxury, the Lexus LS400 is sure to last you 1 million miles or more. But don't take my word for it. Take it from Matt Farah from The Smoking Tire. Yeah, that's right. That actual Lexus LS400 ticked over 1 million. Toyota threw a ton of money at Lexus in order to make the Mercedes S-Class
Get this one,
competitor.
dude.
But unlike the S-Class, Lexus had to make their Lexo barge reliable. And they had
I'm watching what car gives off Mio vibes. All right,
to build it
I'll
to
tell you when I see one that gives off a Mio vibe. That's not a real Mio, though. Is that fake Mio?
a weight limit, weighing no more than 4,000 pounds. The
Mio,
engineers
if it's you, why don't you have a yellow name?
working on this project had to come into work wearing a lab coat and booties. All these strict tolerances were thanks in part to project lead Ichiro Suzuki. No, not that Ichiro Suzuki, but this Ichiro Suzuki is a master of perfection, employing only the best and most precise engineers to lay hands on these cars. He even had F1 technicians to develop the engine. Mind-blowing. And while not for power, the F1 techs had to make the engine bulletproof. And that's exactly what they did. The techs paired their reliable masterpiece with a plush interior, fitted with all the necessities and nothing more. The suspension comes standard with a bulletproof suspension that feels like you're riding on a cloud. About a year ago, you could have picked up a used LS400 for around $1,500.
No way, dude. You're not gonna get that. That's 2 years ago. What is this called? There's no way that's that cheap. $9,000, $10,000, $4,000. That's pretty cheap, honestly. They've sold me, bro. I've been sold already. 2,500 bucks. 2 accidents, 5 owners. Corporate fleet vehicle. Wouldn't do that. $3,500. 240,000 miles. 5,000 miles. Dude. This is kind of swaggy, honestly. Why are these so cheap? 6K for this? Dude. Kind of gay though. Honestly, it's kind of faggy. I can drive around with the faggy doilies. Bro, everyone would laugh at me. All right, let's watch this. Let's see what's next.
Is out today. They're trading hands for a bit more. Examples like this one with less than 200,000 miles on it are going for 4,500, which is still a bargain in my mind, as they have plenty of life left in them. But say that you don't have that big of a budget. I'd point you towards a Ford Crown Vic. And the Ford Crown Vic has been around for years.
You get a Crown Vic, those are comfy. I want a Crown Vic. I'll put a fake cop light up, or pull people over, kill them, drive away. They think it's just like I'm a police detective, but really I'm just a serial killer.
It is showing up in your rearview mirror with the red and blues on, or in line.
Oh yeah, if it has the doily, it probably is a good car, honestly. Dude, what am I thinking? Which one was it? I need to buy that now. If it has a doily, it means like an old lady or fag drove it. So it's probably pretty, well, whatever. If you guys buy it, you get a good deal.
waiting to pick up tourists from airports. The Crown Vic is a reliable staple for both cops and taxis.
Holy crap!
When new, the Crown Vic only sold about 1/3 to civilians. The rest went to police agencies and other fleet sales. So Ford had to manufacture them for brutal police usage.
Bro.
They were built Ford tough, but in all seriousness, Ford made this car to withstand just about anything cops could throw at it, and that's why they keep coming back to Ford. They would run these Crown Vics for a few 100,000 miles, then offload them to taxi companies for pennies on the dollar. Once the taxi companies were done with them, they wholesaled them out to consumers. And that's where you and I come in and buy them up for next to nothing. Because you can get one with hundreds of thousands of miles on it, or nicer ones like this 130,000 mile gem from 2011 for just under $3,000.
Aren't cop cars really bad to buy though? Because they just sit running all day. Isn't that like a stupid? Isn't this like a not accurate video? Because don't cops just sit in the car running all day? So it like puts wear and tear on the engine.
And I did mention it comes with the engine out of a Mustang, didn't I? Yeah, that's right. Not only is this ride dead reliable, but with the P71 Police Interceptor,
I always thought you're not supposed to buy cop cars because cop cars are always not taken care of.
it has
Because also the cops don't care because it's not their vehicle. Am I wrong? I thought that was like a thing. Like you shouldn't buy like a cop car because they don't take care of it because they don't care.
upgraded engine with beefier camshafts and better suited suspension, as well as chassis stiffeners to make it ready for anything and everything that the police wanted to throw at it. I hate left lane hogs. You hate left lane hogs. Well, just go get yourself one of these and people will be scattering from your view and moving over for you unexpectedly. Because, well, even with an expert eye, they still look like police cars. But Crown Vics aren't all that practical, and you can't haul too much. Or I guess you can. Well, if you want more practicality, you gotta go with the Toyota pickup. A pickup is made for one thing, utility. And the Toyota pickup is made for a lot more than just
These gotta be expensive, the pickups. But yeah, you got a lot of options, dude.
last. Everything is made as durable as possible on it. Oh yeah, Top Gear tested it by sinking it in the English Channel, setting it on fire, and even blowing it off a building. But surprisingly, truck still ran and drove. Unbelievable. And so, well, it seemed too good to be true, so Whistling Diesel picked one up, and he bought it to break it, putting it through its paces. And it proved to be reliable and durable throughout whatever he threw at it, until, well, he dropped it out of a helicopter at 10,000 feet. At the end of the day, a Toyota pickup will probably outlast you. And for under 5,000 bucks, what more could you want? Better gas mileage? Well, lucky for you. You don't have to look too far for that, as the Toyota Camry will suffice. And the best cheap Camrys that will outlast anything is the 4th gen. Built from 97 to 01, they were made like little bricks, ditching everything that seemed unnecessary and adding things that added reliability. While the car is very conservatively styled, the car won't leave you stranded anytime soon. Keep your eyes peeled, and I'm sure you're gonna see dozens of these roaming around. And that's thanks in part to the reliability, and if something does break, it won't cost you hundreds of dollars to fix. Because, well, Toyota made 1 million of these. There are 2 options for your—
Where is he getting these prices? This is 2 years ago.
both of which are bulletproof, a small V6 or an even smaller 4-cylinder. But they also offered it with a 5-speed manual transmission to make up for that lack of power. Both engines get upward of 25 miles per gallon and have the ability to do it reliably. So for 2,500 bucks, can you really go wrong? Well, maybe not, but a Toyota is not a Lexus. And what if I told you you could get a cheap Lexus that will last 1 million miles for cheap? Well, you'd think LS400, but the Lexus ES300 also fits the bill. Smaller than the LS400 and less complicated. The ES300 has just the right amount of reliability and simplicity. Mixed in with some luxury, Lexus really listened to consumers as they took focus groups and asked people what they wanted. What a concept. While cosmetics weren't a huge concern, functionality was focused on, and it sure shows. Following up the success of the LS400, Lexus knew it just had to come swinging with a new, smaller model, and the ES300 sure delivered. While the V6 isn't the most powerful or even the most fuel efficient, it is dead reliable, lasting hundreds of thousands of miles with just simple maintenance. These ES300s are unkillable. I bet once you hear Lexus, you think expensive, but you'd be wrong, as you can pick up one of these ES300s for less than $2,000. And that's an absolute bargain if you ask me. For luck,
driving cars is gay. Nicholas J. Fuentes. Dude, I was on Facebook Marketplace yesterday, and I was just looking at like driving wheels. I was looking at driving sim get up setups, but I'm not buying anything. I can't buy anything. I was thinking I should just get a VR headset and get a driving wheel, and drop $1,000 and get a full driving sim setup, and then just pretend I'm in my Thunderbird again and never drive a nice car in real life.
Luxury. But what about safety? While it isn't unsafe, there are sure some other cars that come to mind when it comes to safety. Volvo.
What type of vehicle is a Beardson? Jack? No. What's a bad like sports car? What's a bad coupe? It's not a Mustang. The Beard Mobile. The clown. Yeah, he drives a clown car, dude.
Old Volvos, super bricks. And while old Volvos are both safe and cheap, did
No,
you
it could be a Mini Cooper.
know that they were made to last too?
I guess you wonder where I've been.
Get yourself any version of the Volvo 240 and chances are you'll be able to hand the car down from generation to generation. As an old brick like these Volvos are known to last 300, 400, even 500,000 miles with relative ease. You can pick up a clean one with some well-used
Thunderbird,
miles.
but yeah, actually, you're right. Actually, Langley, you're 100% right. This is Beardson's car. This is the Beardson car right here. The red one. It got to be a red one. Yeah, that's the Beardson right there. Honestly, it looks better the more I look at it. I'm becoming retarded. I saw one of these on the road when I was driving around down south a few months ago, and it was funny. The guy was not paying attention to it. He was an old guy. He was like a boomer, and he was not paying attention to the road, and he like tried to merge into me, and I was like, dude. But I had respect for him because he had a Thunderbird. But like, dude, this is like boomers are retarded.
For less than $2,000. But there's another Volvo that is sure to outlast the 240. While it isn't as new or as cheap, the Volvo P1800 is sure to outlast anything or anyone. And I say that with confidence as a P1800 holds the Guinness Book of World Records for the most miles on any car in existence. How many miles do you think it has? 1 million?
1,500,000.
1.5, 2, nope, 3.25 million miles. That is roughly 100
It's not possible.
around
Where did somebody drive it, dude? That's not real.
the world. Unfortunately, the secret's out about the P1800s and they have skyrocketed in price. But that is because they can last forever. The main reason that they're so expensive is because the people that have them, well, they hold on to them. And with some research, I found a 1966 P1800 for just over 22K. But it's only got 62,000 miles on it, and it's just finishing up with its engine breaking in. Buy this and you'll save tens of thousands of dollars of maintenance repairs throughout the life of the car. Or just go another route and buy a cheap Honda Accord, and that will easily last you a few 100,000 miles.
Or just buy cars and you buy used cars 10 times.
While out of the box, the 02 to 07 Honda Accord might not stand out to you, it should. Not only does it come with a choice of an efficient 4-banger or a more potent V6, both are
Dude, that's
available
cool.
with manual transmissions, and both are cheap. Honda built these Accords with reliability in mind. Sure, it's not gonna have the modern tech or features, but it's gonna make sure that it gets you to your destination, because Honda engineered these cars to be reliable, cheap, and more reliable, with many of these cars having hundreds of thousands of trouble-free miles. And for $1,500 and less than 150,000 miles, can you really go wrong? Well, if you live in a climate with inclement weather, most of these options probably won't be a great choice for you.
That's a Mio car right there. This is a Mio car. I can see a Mio driving that.
transmissions, and both are cheap. Honda built these Accords with reliability in mind. Sure, it's not gonna have the modern tech or features.
Yeah, this is a Mio car right here. Kind of like a Mio vibe. The number one